primary, that's the prime directive. Second is Kazushi, taking the balance and or stunning the opponent with some type of a teaming. And third is the technique or the appropriate response. I make a distinction on the last two because when we work kata fashion as we do in Aikido, generally we're prepared to do that. In other situations, you don't know the outcome, so then I say appropriate response. If you do the first two things properly, again, another one of my axioms is begin correctly to end correctly. So if you nail your opening movement, the Kazushi and the end result are going to follow in a natural sequence. You won't be stammering or stuttering. But if you mess up on the initial movement, then it's problematic. Okay? Make sense? So you want to establish a construct that you're prepared. You don't want to get ready, you want to be ready. So be present in your approach. Regular exercise that we all know well. Nidai Doshi always talked about it as being principles of swordsmanship, body positioning. What I did in the class last night, we made a clear distinction between Omote and Ogura. I just did it with partner. Now, this version, you maintain connection. It's another level. So from here, almost there. What did I do? I changed the center line. Okay? Your objective is to get out bigger target. Change its trajectory. I go through, up, and I turn, and I cut. Okay? Now, we unwind, and we do the movement to the other side. Unwind, and up to the Ura, create the opening. Okay, please practice. Doing the initial motion properly. You have your opponent, that's your template for your movement and your positioning. So you want to be sure that what's Aikido? What do we talk about? Matching, right? We blend. We don't oppose, we blend. So if I'm doing here, I have position, I have easy position, easy transition. So when we do, say, Ura here, when I set this up, his shoulder and my shoulder are connected. So when I turn, you see I have positional advantage. Makes sense? Because I'm lining up properly. For the omote, what we just do one hand, what I want to do, I want to change all his power. He can come here, he can come here, he can headbutt, anything. I need to change that immediately. Get his position. So you use the body as your mold. You move around in this case. So make sure that on your entering that you have clear, nice, smooth, correct movement. And another one of my things I really focus on in teaching is don't move too quickly if you don't have a degree of mastery on the technique. If you want to really learn something, you have either muscle memory involved. It's not slow, persistent practice. You have to have a visual image of what you're doing, a good model. That's how we learn. We learn more through modeling. If you want to be good, watch somebody that's good. Then you make the neural connections the same way if you watch it enough. So always be precise, as precise as possible in your movement. It's designed to keep you out of harm's way. Just make a couple tweaks there, and we'll go on to something else. But give it a couple more minutes. First move, cut. You need to break this vertical stability. Position. Position, turn my eye, cut. And the biggest single thing to improve, everywhere I've ever taught or done myself, is to bend the knees. You have to bend the knees. So from here, I can do this. Always have this hand in play. Always use both hands, both arms. Get them up immediately, whether it's in training or in reality. You got to get your hands up, or you're an easy target. And this hand here. So it's two fronts here. Tension again. I think maybe let's make groups. Like on this movement, and everything that you do, whether it's boxing, it's karate, there's a term called lateral reciprocation. So if this hand moves this way, this hand moves this way. This gives you full power and extension. And don't ever let one arm not be busy. You have to use both arms all the time. Okay? So when you do a movement, if I do this movement here, I have this. I'm on two fronts. You see here. I just don't do this. I do this. So I take the power. Then I do the shot. Yeah. Okay. So keep in mind, you both collectively lower the hips. Now, that was the omote, obviously. The ura presents one other, not problem, but opportunity to learn. Many times in Aikido, when you do the turning, there's a tendency to turn the person and bring them directly along to you, or close to you. You have to remember, we're not, in a sense, testing each other. We're not being combative with each other, but we have to be realistic about the motion. You don't pull somebody twice as big as you directly on you. It's like a Volkswagen and a trailer truck. It doesn't work, okay? You want to be fleet of foot, so to speak. So first we do what? Kind of equal or here. So this is the first move in the ura. Again, I have to establish position. So I have position, okay? So from here and here. Now I create a model. I create the mold or the structure, and I move behind it. And I establish relatively the same position as I did in the ura, in the omote, but I added the dynamics of the move. Anytime you put other variables or energies involved, it's going to vary just a little bit because of the momentum. So, now, what I do is I turn out, here, and out. I want you to get with the partner. Don't throw, but I want to see you doing the initial move to where the throw will start, to get that turning right. Please. Well, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. Okay? Do it slowly. Speed will come. Speed will come. The repetition practice. But learning the initial motion, the key to that is be consistent in your motion. just like our lights here. Energy, the electricity is being flowed through so that they're not blinking. If it hesitation, lights are blinking. You want it to fast or slow, you want it to be continuous. So if you continue slow, it'll be faster than time. But don't go for speed right now. Go for accuracy. Try again. Now I need to go around me. As it's coming around me, I reestablish myself up here. So I have So again, leading the ball out. This hand stays down. This hand. And the other hand comes up. Okay, roots. Reverse body guys, so you can use two hands here, here. If they're really strong, you have to do this. Maybe. So the transition here is I move offline here, curl up, make this wrist, and cut the knuckles down. If you do it one hand, you can do the same thing. Two hands are a little easier initially because it puts you in a better position relative to your partner. And his other hand is occupied, which is good. It's not occupied up to your chin, which is better. Okay, practice. So that you're not embarrassed. You always have to make your position. Right here, I establish this drill.